welcome to this explainer. Today, we are going to unravel the total mystery of India's missing fast bowling legend, Bhuvneshwar Kumar. We're talking about a player who literally mastered the wind, outthought the greatest batsman of a generation, and then, seemingly overnight, just faded from the international spotlight. It's a pretty fascinating question, isn't it? What if I told you that a bowler with nearly 300 international wickets, a guy who used to make the world's absolute best batters look entirely helpless, simply vanished from the national team without a grand farewell? No final lap of honor, no big, tearful retirement speech. Just gone. Well, today we're going to explore his incredible rise, his heartbreaking fall, and a spectacular comeback that, honestly, way too few people are talking about. So let's jump right into Chapter 1, The Boy from Meerut. Way before the packed stadiums and all the international fame, Bhuvneshwar Kumar was just a kid from Uttar Pradesh, whose sister had to physically take him to his first cricket coaching center. But you see, unlike most young fast bowlers who are completely obsessed with bowling as fast as humanly possible, Bhuvi relied on something else: surgical precision. His incredible control actually earned him a first-class debut for Uttar Pradesh at the tender age of 17. He showed immediate promise, but absolutely nobody could have predicted that his early domestic career was about to set the stage for what is arguably the most famous dismissal in Indian domestic cricket history. In the 2008 to 2009 Ranji Trophy final, a young Bhuvneshwar achieved the unthinkable. Using a brilliant in-swinger and a super clever field placement devised by his captain, he became the first bowler ever to dismiss the legendary Sachin Tendulkar for a duck in first-class cricket. I mean, think about that. Sachin's only domestic duck. As Bhuvi himself admits, that single wicket completely changed his life and put the entire cricketing world on notice. Which brings us to Chapter 2, A Dream International Debut. After years of grinding it out in the domestic circuit, he finally arrived on the international stage in late 2012. Now, facing the intense pressure of debuting against Pakistan and Australia is enough to break most players, but Bhuvi, he brought his fearless accuracy right to the big stage. Get this, he bowled Nasser Jamshed in his first T20 international. He bowled Mohammad Hafiz in his first ODI, and he bowled David Warner in his first test. Bhuvneshwar Kumar remains the only bowler in the entire history of international cricket to secure his maiden wicket in all three formats by bowling the batsman out. It's a striking historical anomaly, and it perfectly highlights just how deadly his accuracy really was. Moving on to Chapter 3, Rise of the King. So, how exactly did he do it? Well, between 2013 and 2018, Bhuvi entered his golden era, completely dominating world cricket. To truly appreciate this, we need to geek out on the actual sports science behind his dominance for a second. It all comes down to a concept called boundary layer separation. You see, Bhuvneshwar's genius wasn't raw speed, it was elite aerodynamic manipulation. By keeping the airflow laminar, or smooth, on one side of the ball and turbulent on the other, he created a massive pressure differential. This caused the ball to suddenly and viciously change direction in midair right before reaching the batsman. I want you to mentally zoom in on his fingers at the point of release. His mechanics were absolutely flawless. He operated in a highly specific velocity range of 130 to 137 kilometers per hour. Why? Because that ensured the ball didn't lose that crazy aerodynamic effect. For the in-swinger, he used a perfectly upright seam, and for the outswinger, it was just a subtle, gentle push from his middle finger at the exact moment of release to tilt the seam toward the slip cordon. We're talking about elite, world-class wrist consistency. And this wasn't just pretty to watch, it actually won major trophies. His technical mastery was the anchor for India's 2013 Champions Trophy win in England. It led to a historic 6 for 82 at Lord's in 2014, and in the IPL, it made him the first bowler ever to win back-to-back purple caps in 2016 and 2017. He was, without a doubt, the undisputed swing king. But sports can be brutal, which leads us to Chapter 4, The Beginning of the Fall. Let's be real for a minute. Fast bowling is arguably the most unnatural and demanding job in all of sports, and we really have to look at the severe physical toll this high-intensity action inevitably takes on the human body. In 2018, a severe lower back injury forced him out of the crucial England Test series. In 2019, a hamstring strain totally derailed his World Cup campaign. Then, in 2020, a thigh muscle injury sidelined him yet again. And here's the thing. For a swing bowler, rhythm is your primary weapon. Every single physical setback robbed him of that precious rhythm, and slowly but surely his pace began to drop. This takes us right into Chapter 5, The Ultimate Heartbreak. This steady physical decline unfortunately coincided with a dramatically shifting competitive landscape. As new, much faster bowlers like Jasprit Bumrah and Arshdeep Singh emerged, things really came to a head in 2022. Now, Bhuvi was actually India's leading wicket-taker in the 2022 Asia Cup, taking 11 wickets, including an absolutely incredible 5 for 4 against Afghanistan. But he was entrusted with the crucially important 19th over, right in the thick of the death overs, during tight chases against Pakistan and Sri Lanka, and he leaked runs. Facing really heavy scrutiny, and with the national team making a strategic shift toward youth, he was quietly phased out. Like we said earlier, no grand farewell, just a silent exit from the international squad.
But don't count him out yet. Chapter 6, The Unspoken Comeback.
If you think his story ends with that quiet exit, you are totally mistaken. The international cameras might have turned away, but Bhuvneshwar Kumar never stopped fighting, and more importantly, he never stopped evolving. 8 for 41. Let that sink in. In January 2024, after a massive 6-year absence from first-class cricket, he returned to the Ranji Trophy for Uttar Pradesh. Bowling in the freezing cold morning conditions of Kanpur, he generated that trademark sharp swing to absolutely dismantle Bengal, proving once and for all that his foundation of skill was permanent. The absolutely crucial point here is how he adapted to his physical changes over time. Early in his career, he relied on pure aerodynamics and a velocity of up to 137 kilometers per hour to completely dominate the power play. But late in his career, as his raw pace dropped, he had to become a supreme tactical thinker. He shifted his focus to the knuckleball, intentionally dropping his velocity to around 115 kilometers per hour to become absolutely lethal in the death overs. Let's actually break down exactly how he executes this deceptive weapon because it's brilliant. Step 1, he grips the seam with just the very tips of his index and middle fingers. Step 2, he curls his knuckles sharply inward against the leather. And step 3, which is where the magic really happens, he releases the ball with the exact same arm speed as his fast delivery, but with absolutely zero backspin. Without that backspin, the ball loses its aerodynamic lift, wobbles unpredictably through the air, and then suddenly dips, completely bamboozling modern power hitters who tend to swing early. And you know what? This tactical evolution led to a massive franchise resurgence. Acquired by Royal Challengers Bengaluru for a whopping 10.75 crore, his knuckleballs and precise death bowling helped drive RCB to their historic 2025 IPL title run. Recognizing his immense, enduring value, they retained him as their veteran spearhead for 2026, where he proved them right all over again by taking 26 wickets and finishing as the runner-up for the Purple Cap. And if you need ultimate proof of his defensive mastery over his career, just consider this standalone number: 1,793. That is the all-time IPL record for the most dot balls bowled by any player in history. Nearly 1,800 times, the absolute best batters in the entire world simply could not score a single run off him. That is mind-blowing.
Which leaves us with a final, highly provocative question to chew on. Will the Swing King's unparalleled tactical genius force one final international return, or is his domestic and franchise legacy already enough to completely solidify his legend? I mean, he has outthought the absolute best, survived devastating injuries, and completely reinvented himself when the world counted him out. Whatever happens next, Bhuvneshwar Kumar's masterclass in the science of swing is something that will literally never be forgotten. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and remember, always keep asking the right questions.